Hello. Hey everybody, it's Liz from West Star Tarot, and today I'm recording video to discuss the decks that I have brought forward to explore in November. I really enjoy picking decks out to use seasonally. I have my box of old standbys that I use all the time, sitting under the table that I use for my reading table and altar. These are decks that I use all the time. Some I've had for decades and some are pretty new, but they're sort of my favorites or my workhorse decks. But then I have another set of decks. I like to go through my decks and pick out decks that sort of appeal to me based on the season, the wheel of the year, the time of year. So anyway, this is November. Whether I will use all these decks, how often I will, I've already used a couple of them. How often I'll use them, I don't know, but I've brought them out into a more prominent position. So they'll be in my consciousness and they'll be in my sight, and I'll, think of them to use because I've brought them out from the bookshelf, and they are seasonal. So I have 4 Oracle and 4 Tarot. I didn't want to overdo it. I figured that's sort of 1 Oracle and 1 Tarot a week. And, I doubt that I'll use them that way, but I just didn't want to overdo. So I think I'll start with Tarot. This is the Witch Sister by Julia Jeffrey. And I use this, well, I haven't had it that long, but I feel like October, November for sure. October because of November because of Day of the Dead, October because of Samhain. This is Julia is a Scottish artist, and this is based on Scottish stories and mythology and characters. And as I have mentioned on this, look at her, oh my God. So this is Ancient Starlight. So this is the star card. Stunning. As I have mentioned multiple times, my dad's parents, my paternal grandparents, were born in Scotland and immigrated here. My grandfather when he was 17 and my grandmother when she was 14. And so I think this is a nice deck to use for ancestor work. I've kind of dedicated it for that purpose. Love her. I have not used this deck a real lot, to be honest. I'm really attracted to it and I really like it. The guidebook's very good too. So I'm hoping to spend some time with it in November. So that is Witch Sister. That is the first tarot deck. And now I didn't plan it this way, but this is The Rooted Woman by Sharon Blackie and artwork by Hannah Willow. This is also a Celtic themed deck. Ooh, I love Hannah's artwork. I have, I think, 2 of her oracle decks, and I also buy her greeting cards. they're beautiful. I just love her art. I find it charming. So let me just say, so Sharon is an author of, let me pull this out about the author, Dr. Sharon Blackie, an award-winning writer, psychologist, and mythologist. Her highly acclaimed books, courses, lectures, and workshops are focused on the development of the mythic imagination and on the relevance of myth, fairy tales, and folk traditions to the personal, cultural, and environmental problems we face in our culture today. I think her most famous book is If Women Rose Rooted. So she also is a feminist. They have written or created this deck so that there are suits. And the suits have symbols. So this is the places has triangles, the allies have circles, and the journey has squares. So you can see, for example, this is the call and it's got a square, so that's part of the journey. This artwork is beautiful. This guidebook is really good. It's not a light, and there are goddesses. So here's Sheila Nagig, Kaliak. I will get back to that thought. I love this bog stagnation because where I live we have lots of cranberry bogs. It's not a light and sweet and easygoing Rhiannon deck. I mean, there are some cards that are, but there's some pretty deep and more goddess. The Morrigan. So you can see the Celtic goddesses and the Celtic countryside, it's really, I like this deck a lot. Anytime I've pulled from it, it's been pretty powerful and potent. So I'm thinking I will perhaps, I might not use it alongside Witch Sister because they're both pretty intense. Maybe that would be too intense, I don't know, but we'll see. So that is the first oracle. Next up for tarot is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn. And, this came onto the tarot scene and made a huge splash. It was everywhere you looked. Everybody was talking about it. And I tend to be contrary about decks like that. I don't know why. But it's like when everywhere you look, everyone's showing it, everyone's talking about it, I tend to say, no, I don't think so. Also, I'm not really into what I call cutesy decks. And, there are some cards in this deck that are maybe what you might call cute and sweet and lovely, but it's not saccharine, it's not cartoony. Like that's a really sweet Empress card, isn't it? Look at her. But it's not childish. I'm not always a fan of clothes on animals, but this is okay. Anyway, this is Oak, Ash, and Thorn by Three Trees Tarot. And they had a sale, and they were retiring the first edition of this deck. And so I bought it, and the second edition. I don't know why I bought both, but anyway, I got it, I think maybe late spring, early summer. But I really have a sense of it being an autumnal feeling about it. I mean, there's lots of leaves on the ground, and look at that. I pulled this one the other day. Oh, Yeah, doesn't that just looks like autumn, doesn't it? With acorns and I don't know. It just makes me think of autumn. So anyway, this is another deck that I have pulled out to use in November. And maybe it can help counterbalance those heavier decks that I've shown. It's a Rider-Waite-Smith based deck, so very easy to read. Next up is an oracle that a friend gifted to me, and I've only used it a couple of times. It's called Thinning Veil Oracle. It's by Maria Alves Hernando, and Maria just came out with a book called Tarot Tableau Revolution. I just bought it, and I just read the first few pages, and I didn't realize until I just pulled this deck out today or the other day to explore for November. I'm like, oh, this is Maria. I didn't realize that she also did this lovely little oracle. It's teeny, and I have small hands, and I am a small person in stature, not in energy. Just saying. Anyway, look at it. It's eeny weeny. It's so cute. So I think there's a PDF you can go to get more details on this. I might even printed it out. Where it is, I do not know. But anyway, I don't feel like you need it because, so this is Crystal Ball. So there's a title of the card and then a couple of keywords. Crystal Ball, visions, focus. Hamsa, divine protection, defense. Ancestors, protection, guidance. So I'm really liking the keywords. I think, we can see that there's kind of a upward and downward. Flickering lights, company, presence. Air, spiritual body, mind. So there's a card to represent the 4 elements. Moth, spiritual message. Old grimoire, inherited skills, wisdom. Isn't the artwork lovely? Undying love, eternal connection. Healer, balance, restoration. Offering, gifts, sharing. Water, emotional body, heart. Spiderweb, entanglement, trap. Lit candle, call, beacon. Spiritual team, support, guides. So I'll stop there. There's I probably got about halfway through. There's not a ton of cards, but it's just lovely, and I think it will be nice to use with these tarots that I've decided to work with this month. So that is Thinning Veil. The next tarot is the Raven's Dream Tarot by M.J. Cullinane. This is the first edition, and oh, MJ, geez, I wish you would stick to this cardstock. The other cardstock MJ uses is just so slippery, it's kind of nutty. But apparently this is more expensive. So anyway, again, I feel like there's a real kind of November-y, feeling about this deck. The vibe and the look. Like if I could turn this camera around and show you out my window, you could see that it looks like this, only not any wolves, although we might see a coyote out there. So this is a deck that I've used, a few times. I'd like to use it more. The guidebook tells a story, so the whole guidebook has a story that goes through it, and then it has different meanings that can be applied to the cards. So I think this is going to be a good deck. I've already used this in November, and Oak, Ash, and Thorn. Ooh, I love that. So, Raven's Dream by M.J. Cullinane. I will be using that in November. And this, I just want to show you the cards I pulled. I did a 5-card reading, and I got Death, the Two of Swords, the Moon, the Knight of Cups, and the 5 of Cups. So that was an interesting reading. And I still have the cards separated out because I'm still contemplating that reading. All right, next up, the Lost Oracle. I'm not sure about this deck. I like the artwork. I like the color scheme, especially for this time of year. So it has a title and a little keyword. So Ancestral Alchemy, Conjure Your Legacy. Elixir, Your Wish is Granted. I love the color. I love the color scheme, especially for November. Under Siege, Uproot Your Habits. Midnight Brew, The Alchemy of You. Beacon of Fortitude, Ground and Connect. Primordial Passion, Leave Your Mark. Furnace, Take Action. Chalice of Charity, Be Nourished. So as I'm reading these cards and the keywords, I'm thinking, hey, Found, Trust What Lies Ahead. This is okay. Hearth, Broaden Your Horizons. I don't know, maybe it's the guidebook. I don't know. Something about it doesn't hit me quite. You know, it doesn't, I don't have those, ooh, wow, kind of moments with this deck. But I'm gonna, I love this one. Harvest Ritual, Trust the Endings in Life. I will stop there. So that is The Lost Oracle by Fiona Horn. And let me see. It's a rock pool, so it only has 36 cards. And the illustrator is Veronica Collins, who is from Massachusetts and went to college about a 40-minute drive from where I live. So that is The Lost Oracle. Hoping that I kind of form a bond with it as I work with it in this month. All right, Tarot. The Lubanco by E. Lubanco. I think I mentioned in I think my October favorites or something, that Emily did a presentation at a local bookstore about her creative process and how she loved tarot and really got into tarot and thought to herself, I'd love to make a deck. Hey, I'm an artist. I can make a deck. And showed us her sketches from way back when. This was a long process for her. I want to say 8 years, I think she said. And she published it as an independent deck. And then Llewellyn just picked it up and released it last month. So I've only used it a couple times, but I think, and Emily even says it's a shadow work deck. So I think it's really kind of perfect for November. So this is the 4th tarot. And can I just say, you know, the cardstock, some people feel like it's flimsy, but I feel like Thank you, Llewellyn. I can shuffle it. Unlike those cardboard, ridiculous cardstock that Hay House is seemingly enamored of. All right, so that is the last tarot, and I'm excited about this one. The guidebook, Emily rewrote the guidebook, expanded it for the mass market edition. So it's a little bit different than the indie. And then finally, this was another deck gifted to me. This is Between the Worlds by Monica Bodersky. It's shadow casting with bone and curio. So what Monica did was she spent years building a bone and curio kit. You know, she didn't just go out and buy it. She found rocks and stones and bones and shells and twigs and things in nature, and then, you know, in, you know, like little cars and little doll pieces, and you'll see that she collected over the year and created a casting kit for herself. And then she decided to draw pictures of it and to make it into a deck. And I am profoundly thankful that she did, because this is a really whoa of a deck. And I don't know why I feel drawn to it this time of year, but I do. So like there's an acorn, a crystal, a claw, you know, there's bones, there's, like I said, doll parts. This is a coin, a shell, a little charm, another, it's a small horseshoe, wishbone. So you can see the types of things that Monica collected, and then she, you know, painted replicas to make this little oracle deck. And the guidebook is wonderful. So here's, I just flipped open the car. So it's called The Vehicle, is like the key word. And so she writes, starts with a story about the item. And then, so that's the first part. And it's about 2 pages or a page and a half. Then she describes the item. She has a little like sentence message. And then advice that the item is giving you, and then which is upright and reversed, and then journal or reflection questions. So it's quite a comprehensive guidebook, and I think that is what makes this such a powerful oracle. And I love Between the Worlds this time of year because, you know, we kind of are. So anyway, those are my decks for November. What do you think? Do you have any of these decks? Have you used these decks? What decks are you attracted to this time of year? And I'd just like to say congratulations to Zohran Mamdani for winning the mayoral race in New York City yesterday. Is this an indication that the tide is turning? We can only hope.